Welcome to today's math lesson, long division with quotient remainders. Today, we're going to learn some tips and techniques that make long division with quotient remainders a lot easier. So to begin with, let's start with a problem that might seem pretty familiar to us. Let's imagine that we have $5, and we're going to divide it by 2. We could even imagine it like this. Maybe we have $1, $2, $3, $4, and $5, and these are each $1. And it's pretty easy to imagine, especially if, let's say we had two friendly folks here. Pretty easy to imagine dividing these up. So we always divide evenly. Give 1 to them and 1 to them. And we'll keep dividing evenly. Another one for them, and another one for them. All right, so they each get $2. And of course, we're left with $1 left over. And in division, we always have to divide evenly. So we could say that there's just a remainder. We could say that the answer is 2. That would be $2 with a remainder of $1. But who gets this last dollar? In this example, nobody gets it. And when we're working with division in a problem like this in real life, we like to make sure that we do not have a remainder because we don't want to just toss that dollar out. What we want to do, obviously, is we want to divide this last dollar up into two halves. Now, we could imagine tearing this in half so that one person gets a $50 bill and the other person gets a $50 bill. But as you know, you can't just tear money in half. We would probably divide that up into quarters, right? We could divide this up into 2 quarters and this into 2 quarters, and that would equal 50 cents. So we could say that they each get 50 cents. There. Now we've really divided that money up into 2. And we could say that our answer is, instead of 2 with a remainder of 1, we could say that our answer is $2.50. That's how much each person gets, right? They each get $2.50. We've divided it up evenly. So we can see how we divide 5 by 2 and get $2.50. Now let's see if we can find a method, an algorithm, a trick for doing this with long division. So let's go ahead and write this and record this in your math notebook. 5 divided by 2. We'll follow the steps, the normal steps for long division. So to begin with, we'll say, how many groups of 2 can I make with 5? Let's see, 2, 4. I can make 2 groups of 2. Next is multiply. 2 times 2 is 4, and subtract. 5 minus 4 is 1. So I'm just following the normal steps of long division. Now, in long division, previously we would have had 1 as a remainder, but we don't want a remainder. We want to divide everything evenly here. So we have to divide up that 1. But there's nothing left to bring down. So here's the new step in long division with a quotient remainder. I'm going to add a decimal to my answer and a decimal to the dividend that I started with here, 5. And I need to add a couple zeros because I need something else to work with. Now I have something I can bring down. I can bring this 0 down. And I have a new number that I can divide into. How many groups of 2 can I make with 10? I can make 5 groups of 2 with 10. Of course, 2 times 5 is 10, and then subtract, and there's nothing left over, which means I'm done dividing. So my answer, you see here, is 2 5/10. just like I got here, 2 5/10. Of course, this has a 0 after it. This is really 50 cents if it's money. But in our answer here, these really are the same number. So let's practice this again with a new number. Make sure you have your math notebook out and record these steps as you follow along with my example. For our next example, we'll do another pretty simple one, 3 divided by 6. So let's record this as a long division problem. 3 divided by 6. Notice I make a pretty long line here, so I have room for a bigger decimal number. And let's follow those steps. So to begin with, divide like normal. How many groups of 6 can I make with 3? I can't make any groups, so it's going to be a 0. Now, add a decimal to my answer and the dividend down here and add a couple zeros. Go ahead and pause if you need to, and make sure you have this recorded in your math notebook. Next, how many groups of 6 can I make with 30? Let's see here. If I count by 6s, let's see here. I get 6, 12, 18, 24, 30. That's 5 groups. So I'm going to record a 5 up here. 6 times 5 is 30. Subtract. 30 minus 30 is 0. I'm all done. So my answer is 5/10, or 1/2. So 3 divided into 6 parts equals 1/2. Let's try another example. This time, let's try 22 divided by 5. So if you want to go ahead and try this on your own, you can pause now and try solving it on your own. Otherwise, you can follow along one more time. So in this example, I'm going to start just like I always do. How many groups of 5 can I make with 2? I can't make any. So I'm going to extend this out to 22. How many groups of 5 can I make with 22? Well, I know 5 goes into 24 times. So I will go ahead and record that. 5 times 4 is 20. That's the multiply step. Next up is subtract. 22 minus 20 is 2. And the next step would be bring down, but there's nothing to bring down over here. So I'm going to add a decimal to my answer. This 4 really should be right here. There we go. Add a decimal to my answer. Add a decimal to the dividend. And a couple zeros. Pause. That's the important step. If there's nothing left to bring down, add a decimal to the answer and the dividend and add a couple zeros. Okay. Now I'm going to bring down a 0 now that I have something to bring down. And I'm ready to make groups. How many groups of 5 can I make with 20? I can make 4 groups. 5 times 4 is 20. Of course, if I subtract, there's nothing left over, which means I'm done. And my answer is 4 4/10. All right, let's try one more problem. Try this one on your own, and I will talk through the steps again. Remember, it's division like normal. When you have nothing left to bring down, add a decimal to your answer and your dividend. And for this last one, let's do 2 divided by 7. Another way to write that, of course, is 2 divided by 7. Go ahead and record that in your math notebook. And pause now and try solving this. Oops, I did that wrong. We're going to do 7 divided by 2. Excuse me. 7 divided by 2. 7 divided by 2. There we go. Go ahead and pause now and try this problem on your own. Remember, you're dividing like normal. When there's nothing left to bring down, you'll add a decimal and a couple zeros. You'll bring one of those zeros down. Unpause once you've solved it, and we'll see how you did. All right. Go ahead and resume. If you finished the problem, let's see how you did. How many groups of 2 can you make with 7? Let's see, 2, 4, 6. That's 3 groups. Next step is multiply. 2 times 3 is 6. Now subtract. Let's see, what's the difference? What's left over? 1. Is there anything to bring down? Nope, nothing to bring down. So I need to add some zeros. I'm going to add a decimal and a couple zeros. So I've got something to work with here. And I'll bring one of those zeros down. Now, how many groups of 2 can I make with 10? I can make 5 groups of 2. 2 times 5 is 10, and if I subtract, there's nothing left over. So there is my answer, 3 5/10. All right, well, let us know if you have any questions, and good luck with your work.